All right, so we have a lot to cover today. So without any further delay, let's just go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing to keep in the back of your mind is to truly live. I mean, really live. That is going to require courage. And courage is not taking action, in the absence of fear. It's taking action in spite of fear. Hello world, Prince here, and welcome to my channel, Gentlemen and Scholars, where we discuss dating, style, personal development, and so much more. So for my returning friends, definitely make sure you give this one a thumbs up. Go ahead and just do it. And if you're new to the channel, definitely consider taking a look around, liking and subscribing. As you know, it helps with that algorithm, it helps the channel to grow, and really does work to facilitate that strong, tight-knit community. All right, so for today's topic, we're gonna be going over how to handle rejection like a boss. I'm gonna be giving you 5 different tips that really are going to help you to deal with rejection, handle with rejection, whether it's with dating, relationships, with women, things of that nature, or with your job, your career, and really just in life in general. There's a certain mindset that you want to make sure to maintain, and certain concepts that you're going to want to keep in the back of your mind as well. So I'll definitely be going through all of these, so definitely make sure you stick around to the end, because this is a huge topic and something that all of us deals with, and I want to help you guys to deal with it, because I feel like I really nailed down some really great concepts that have helped me along the way. So definitely make sure you stick around until the end. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into today's video. All right, so we have a lot to cover today. So without any further delay, let's just go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing to keep in the back of your mind is to truly live. I mean, really live. That is going to require courage. And courage is not taking action, in the absence of fear. It's taking action in spite of fear. So, whether you're one of those guys that, went for that stunning girl that, you really had a crush on, and, you always kept your eye on, and maybe, every time you went to the gym, you're like, oh man, like, I know she's gonna be there. So in the back of your mind, you're kind of excited to see her, and then you finally go up, and then, you get rejected. Or you might be one of those guys that went for, your dream job. You went ahead, you applied, maybe you talked to some of the hiring managers and, try to put in a good word, things of that nature, but, it just did not go through. Well, really the point in all of this is to congratulate yourself for having the courage to push your agenda forward and to try. Because at the end of the day, 99% of your peers were too afraid to do what you went ahead and gave a shot at. And to this point, you should make it a habit of, taking action specifically when you feel like shutting down. And you know what I mean, those moments of intense, crippling anxiety. Those moments when, you really feel like shutting down. You should use this anxiety as a signal not to shut down, but rather as a signal to take action. And pay attention, gentlemen, because this is really a skill that you want to learn, because what will happen is over time, your body will still have that intense anxiety, but you'll have conditioned it to start taking action in spite of your fears. And to further emphasize my point, this was probably a year, maybe 2 years ago, when I was really into dating, and I'm like, man, like I want to find my dream girl. So I would go out and really anytime I saw a woman I liked, I would just approach her, whether it be at the grocery store, whether it be at a coffee shop, no matter where I was, I made it a point to approach every woman that really grabbed me. And over time, that crippling anxiety that I felt, which was really crippling, especially in high pressured settings where there was like a ton of people around, maybe a crowd, over time, that never really went away, but my body would sort of be conditioned to go in spite of these fears. So in other words, before I could even think, my body was already moving in that direction. So definitely make sure you're cultivating this skill, gentlemen. The second tip that I have for you guys is going to be realize that rejection does not define you. This one is really huge. See, just because that woman turned you down, that doesn't mean that you're not a catch. Just because that job went and turned you away, that doesn't mean that you're not an asset to the company. Listen up, you can't let anybody define who you are. That's a decision that you make in yourself internally. If a woman doesn't like you, really it's her loss. Let's be honest, gentlemen, there are women out there that are really not that bright. I mean, if a job doesn't want you, they'll just miss out. Don't take it personally. A lot of these jobs already have different people or employees in mind when putting them out. Another thing to emphasize here is that things are so subject to change. I've had women, outright reject me, and then later on, they're dying to get my attention. And then in my past, I've had employers pass up on me for a specific role, but then be aggressively pursuing me for that role maybe a year down the line. So what I'm saying is it really doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things. What does really matter is, are you showing up and doing your part? Are you showing up daily? Remember, success is a habit, not a single action. So it requires constant courageousness and consistent action without the lack of enthusiasm in the midst of rejection. But hey, really quick, if you made it this far, congratulations. You're on your way to becoming a premier gentleman and scholar. So definitely consider taking a look around, liking and subscribing, as it helps with that algorithm, it helps the channel to grow, and really does work to facilitate that strong, tight-knit community. So for tip number 3, we're moving on to more actionable steps, and that one is going to be to never get out of your character. So in other words, don't become an ass just because a woman blew you off. Again, you just can't take it personally because you don't know what transpired during the course of that day. Maybe she had a really close family member pass. Maybe she just had a really bad day at work. There could be a number of things that are going on in her life to cause her to lash out at you or maybe reject you in a very public way. People handle and internalize things differently, and some people are just mean, and you shouldn't take that personally either, because trust me, their negative attitudes and negativity is negatively impacting their lives, more than likely in ways that they can't even realize. And some may never realize this. And if they don't realize it, they can't change it. So in a way, that's really sad. So you should have empathy and pity for these people. Kind of tying into the last tip, tip number 4, you're going to want to make sure that you're killing them with kindness. And in the case of dating, you're going to want to have a witty comeback. So if you do get rejected, you're going to want to have a positive spirit about it. Always a good response is, no worries, have a great day. But in the case of dating, always have a few canned, witty comebacks for when women test to see what you're made of. So when she says, I have a boyfriend, you can say something like, who said I wanted to date you? I wasn't fully sold on that yet. Or, look, take my number, and when you're done messing around with him, you can give me a call. Something simple but effective. And yes, there have been plenty of times when she rejected me at first, but I did eventually end up getting her number. And lastly, for how to handle rejection, you should be making sure to see if there's anything to learn from the rejection. This is not an opportunity for you to get super negative about yourself. It's just not necessary. But you should be taking note of different patterns that may arise that may, be negatively affecting your success. You should be keeping these in the back of your mind. And also you should be fine-tuning and, coming up with different responses and things to say. And also be fine-tuning and coming up with responses for things that women or really anybody may say. So in other words, when you have those moments in a conversation when you're sort of stumped and, don't know what to say, you should be taking notes of those moments, because more than likely they'll happen again and you want to have something ready to say the next time around. In summary, don't beat yourself up, gentlemen. Rejection is part of the process and really is natural and reoccurring in life. So don't worry, just show up daily and continue to take consistent action, and you will eventually reach your goals. I'm sure of it. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. If you do have any questions for me, definitely feel free to give a shout. My email is down in the description below. Definitely let me know what you guys think about this one. Do you have any personal tips that have worked for you for handling rejection? Definitely let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions. Definitely make sure you subscribe. That is, of course, very important. And also hit that notification bell. But, until next time, gentlemen and scholars.